Hey everybody, welcome to the Rock and Metal Guardian. I'm Dane, your host. Hope you're having a great day wherever you may find yourselves. Today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite bands of all time, and that is Deep Purple, and specifically the best Deep Purple albums ranked. There are 15 of them in all. We're going to start with number 15 and work our way to number 1. These are my favorite 15 albums by Deep Purple. So, number 15, getting the ball rolling, is the Book of Taliesin, and Taliesin, according to many scholars, is a pseudonym for the magician Merlin in Arthurian legend. Anyway, the reason this release makes number 15 at the bottom and includes in one of my favorites is, for the most part, because of the song Wring That Neck. That's how much I like this song. You can find it in different incarnations. There's some wonderful versions of Wring That Neck where Ian Gillan's in the band. You can see those live versions of it on YouTube, and they're extended versions because you have some amazing solos, extended solos from Richie. Anyway, that's the second track on this album. It starts with Listen, Learn, Read On, which I'm quite fond of, then Wring That Neck, then the great cover song Kentucky Woman, the Neil Diamond cover, then you get Exposition / We Can Work It Out as the fourth track, then you get Shield, then Anthem, then River Deep, Mountain High, the seventh and final track. However, this is a bonus edition, so you have a few more tracks. 3 of them are BBC Top Gear Sessions, which are It's All Over, great song. Then one I don't care for too much, which is Hey Bop a Rebop. Then a BBC version of Wring That Neck, which is great. Then 2 studio outtakes in Oh No 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 and Playground, which is a remixed instrumental studio outtake. So yes, this is good enough for me where I have to include it in my favorite Deep Purple albums of all time. Okay, so their sophomore effort, October 1968 is when it was released. Coming in at number 14 is the John Lord composition Gemini Suite, and this is live, 1970. As I said, John Lord is the composer. However, it was based around the individual members of Deep Purple with a solo movement for each of the musicians. So think of, even though it's a studio album, think of Yes's Fragile. Very similar, right? Even though, like here, you have all the members playing on the songs, each song is meant to showcase a specific talent of each member. So it's very similar in that sense. I love this. I know some people, it's hit or miss for them. It's 3 movements. You have first movement, second movement, and third movement. The first movement is 17 and change. The second is just over 10 minutes. And the third movement is just under 17 minutes. So the first movement is Blackmore and Lord. The second is Gillan and Glover. And then the third is Ian Pace. So this comes with a nice booklet, if you can still get this, and I think that you can. This is definitely worth having if you're a Deep Purple completist, or you like when your bands experiment in it and it's a winner. So very fond of this, number 14. This came out, like I said, 1970. And then, of course, the precursor to this is the 1969 with the Philharmonic Orchestra conducted by Malcolm Arnold. Yes, I'm talking about Concerto for Group and Orchestra. I just love this album cover. I had this on vinyl when I was a teenager. And this has a bonus disc. It has Hush, Wring That Neck, and Child in Time. And then you get the concerto part, which is this 2, which is the first movement, Moderato, Allegro, then the second movement, Andante, then the third movement, Vivace, Presto, and then for the encore, third movement, Vivace, Presto, and then it says part in parentheses. That's probably meant to be part 2, so there's a typo there. I'm pretty sure that you didn't get the Hush, Wring That Neck, and Child in Time on the original vinyl, but don't quote me. But I just love this. So 1969, the first album with Ian Gillan on vocals, and at this time, Blackmore is still playing a Gibson. Anyway, so now this next one, people are going to ooh and ah, and they're going to be pitchforks and fire and pitchforks like in a monster movie knocking on my door. But I can't help the way that I feel, and so Number 12 is Slaves and Masters, which came out in 1990. I hate the album cover. I've never liked the DP logo that you see in the middle, which is also on Perfect Strangers. But I love King of Dreams. I love the way that song begins. I love the cut runs deep. I love Fire in the Basement. It's very playful at the end. Hey, you got a match, right? From Jolyn Turner. Truth Hurts is probably my least favorite song. Breakfast in Bed, my second least favorite song, but I do like them. Love Conquers All is a great ballad. Fortune Teller I like. Too Much Is Not Enough. And then the album ends with the 9th track, Wicked Ways, which I think is fabulous. So this is I think an underrated album. Yeah, it's more of a rainbow album because Jolyn Turner sings on it. You want to call it Deep Rainbow or Purple Rainbow or Rainbow Purple or, whatever silliness you want to, we've all done that at times, but whatever. It's a Deep Purple album in name, and maybe it's more, it does sound like a rainbow album, but I'm counting it because it says Deep Purple here. Make of that what you will. I think this is underrated. So number 12, Slaves and Masters. So if we go back for a minute, 15 was Book of Taliesin, 14 Gemini Suite, 13 Concerto for Group and Orchestra, and then 12 Slaves and Masters. Number 11, the debut, Shades of Deep Purple. You get And the Address, opening song, great way to open an album. Then you get Hush, the hit right off this album. One More Rainy Day, Prelude, Happiness, and I'm So Glad. So you have a cream cover there, and I'm So Glad. Then you get Mandrake Root. Mandrake Root is to this album what Ring That Neck is to this. That's how much I like it. This is the cornerstone of the album, Mandrake Root, for me. And there's some great YouTube videos of Ian Gillan singing that song as well. And I have some of that stuff on some CDs as well. Then you get Help from the Beatles. Then you get Love Help Me. And then you get Hey Joe. Bonus tracks. Shadows, an album outtake, which I'm fond of. Love Help Me, an instrumental version. An alternate take of Help. A BBC Top Gear session of Hey Joe. And then a live US TV version of Hush. So number 11, Shades of Deep Purple. Now, coming in at number 10 is a live album. And that live album, and as short and sweet as it is made in Europe. And you have 5 songs. You have Burn, Mistreated, Lady Double Dealer, You Fool No One, and the closing track, Stormbringer. Despite the fact, and I'm not a big fan of single vinyl records. This was a single vinyl live album, and even on CD it's short. But the chemistry here, the production, the vibe, the band is just phenomenal here. I've said this before, the way that the album begins with Coverdale coming up to the mic and there's a quick moment of silence and then he says rock and roll, and then they launch into Burn. So have to include this. Made in Europe, 1976. Next, Made in Japan, 1972. And this is the bonus disc version because it's got black, the black instead of the gold cover, so it's hard to read. But you have Highway Star, Child in Time, Smoke on the Water, The Mule, Strange Kind of Woman, Lazy, love that song, then Space Truck, and then the encore disc, CD2, is Black Knight, Speed King, and Lucille. So if you count Black Knight and Speed King, they saved the best for last. I'm fond of Lucille too, but I would have started with Lucille. Actually, I would have put Lucille in the middle. I would have done Black Knight, Lucille, and then Speed King to close out. Because I think Speed King and Black Knight are stronger tracks than Lucille, even though, as I said, I'm fond of Lucille as a song. So this makes number 9. Made in Europe was 10, and Made in Japan is number 9. Now, coming in at number 8, this is the 35th anniversary edition, 2 CD set, and that is Come Taste the Band. And the disc 2 is essentially the same album, but is the Kevin Shirley remixes with 2 bonus tracks that are quite good. And the 2 bonus tracks are Same in LA, and then Bolin, Pace Jam. I even though I have the previous version, I had to get this because after I heard these two songs, these bonus tracks, I got to get this. That's how much I like them. So I like the original remastered mix better than the Shirley mix, but I do like the Shirley mix too, but it's not my favorite. So the songs on here, underrated: Coming Home, Lady Luck, Getting Tighter, Dealer, I Need Love, Drifter, Love Child, This Time Around / Ode to G, You Keep on Moving, and then the bonus track, You Keep on Moving, single version. So I know a lot of people have said this is underrated, so I'm not alone in that regard. So number 8, Come Taste the Band. Number 7, the reunion album, Perfect Strangers. Knocking at Your Back Door, Under the Gun, Nobody's Home, Mean Streak, Perfect Strangers, title track, favorite song on here. A Gypsy's Kiss, Wasted Sunsets, Hungry Days, Not Responsible, and then the bonus track, Son of a Lyric, 10 minutes, 7 seconds. This is phenomenal. One of my favorite comeback albums of all time. Great way to open an album, too, with Knocking at Your Back Door. So, Perfect Strangers, number 7. Another underrated album coming up at number 6, Who Do We Think We Are? A lot of people don't like this album. I think it's great. You get the great song Woman from Tokyo, Mary Long, Super Trooper, Smooth Dance, Rat Bat Blues, phenomenal. Place in Line, Our Lady. Then, since this is bonus tracks, you get a 99 remix of Woman from Tokyo, an alternate bridge version of Woman from Tokyo, a studio outtake called Painted Horse, which I like, a 99 remix of Our Lady, a writing session of Rat Bat Blue, a 99 remix of Rat Bat Blue, and then the instrumental First Day Jam, which I quite like very much. So, Who Do We Think We Are? Coming in at number 6. Number 5, Fireball. Only one song I don't like on here, and that is Anyone's Daughter. I'm not sure what they were thinking when doing a song that is like Bob Dylan meets Grateful Dead. I'm not sure what they were thinking. Anyway, so you have the title track, then No, 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 Demon's Eye, Anyone's Daughter, The Mule, Fabulous Fools, No One Came, Strange Kind of Woman, which is an A-side remix, 96. Then you get other bonus tracks, I'm Alone, Freedom, Slow Train, Demon's Eye, The Noise Abatement Society tapes, Fireball, Backwards Piano, and No One Came. So, fabulous album, fabulous artwork as well. Oh, I want to go back for a minute. When I showed you Come Taste the Band, even though this is not in my top 15, this is a necessary release to get if you're a Deep Purple fan. This is a companion album to Come Taste the Band, and I'm talking about Days May Come, Days May Go, and this is the California Rehearsals, June 1975. It's the Coverdale lineup with Glenn Hughes and Tommy Bolin. This is the special 2-disc version. Originally, this was a 1 CD release that came out in the 90s, and then a few years later, they put out the second disc, and then finally they put out both discs in one. You get Ode to G, instrumental. If You Love Me Woman, it's a jam. The Orange Juice song, I Got Nothing for You, which is a jam. Statesboro Blues, Dance to the Rock and Roll, which is a jam. Drifter Rehearsal Sequence, Drifter version 1, The Last of the Long Jams, which is a 9-minute jam. Then disc 2 is Drifter version 2. The Sail Away riff comes next. You Keep on Moving, Pirate Blues, which is a jam, and then Say You Love Me, which ends up becoming a Whitesnake song. Whitesnake fans, Deep Purple fans, especially Deep Purple fans, you're not familiar with this, you need to grab this. This is fabulous. Love having this in my collection. So this is a companion piece to Come Taste the Band. All right, so backtracking just a bit, Come Taste the Band, number 8, Perfect Strangers, number 7, Who Do We Think We Are, 6, Fireball, number 5, number 4 is Machine Head, Highway Star, Maybe I'm a Leo, Pictures of Home, Never Before, Smoke on the Water, Lazy, and Space Truckin'. My favorite songs on here, Highway Star, my favorite, Lazy, my second favorite, and then Smoke on the Water, despite that, it's been overplayed. This whole album's great. Maybe a cliched choice to put it in my top 5. I Can't Help the Way I Feel, coming in at number 4. This used to be 1, sometimes it was 2 or 3, but for the longest time it was number 1. But as you see, it's dropped to number 4. many moons ago. Now, number 3, Burn, the first album with David Coverdale. You get the title track to open, Burn, right? Might Just Take Your Life, great song. Lay Down, Stay Down, also fabulous. And Sail Away is the 4th song. Those first 4 songs are just a great way to hit you over the head and pound you senseless, right, in a great way. Then you get You Fool No... the first 5 songs, You Fool No One, number 5. Those first 5 songs are, excuse me, the greatest part of this album. However, I do like what's going on here. Then you get Mistreated. So if you had Mistreated at number 6, then you would be, hit over the head, 6 times as opposed to 5. You kind of take a break with number 6 with what's going on here, because it's not as good as Mistreated, which comes after, and the 5 songs that come before. So anyway, and then finally you get A200, which I'm not very fond of. It's okay, it's quirky and whatnot. Then the bonus tracks, Corian Oraris, Reddick, if I'm pronouncing that right. Then you get a remix version of Burn, remix version of Mistreated, remix version of You Fool No One, and then a remix version of Sail Away. Those remixes are 2004 remixes. This came out in 2005, but of course the original in the 70s. Anyway, so Burn coming. I don't remember the exact date. So Burn, my 3rd favorite Deep Purple album of all time. This next one is going to shock people, but my 2nd favorite Deep Purple album of all time is Stormbringer. And it's not because of the album cover, as much as I like the album cover. That's why I bought it. But then listening to it for the first time, I was just totally blown away. Stormbringer, like Burn, the title track, is the opener. Then you get the fabulous Love Don't Mean a Thing. Coverdale's pipes on here are just fabulous. Holy Man is great. Hold On is fabulous. Lady Double Dealer, phenomenal. You Can't Do It Right, underrated song. Highball Shooter, also an underrated song. And then the two closing songs, The Gypsy and then Soldier of Fortune, are just like ballady type songs, but they're so emotive and powerful that that's why. And this is an album for me that's great start to finish, as most of these are here. But this is just something so personal and captivating about this album for me. Used to have it on vinyl. Wish I still did because of the artwork. But anyway, so Stormbringer number 2. And then finally, you can probably guess what number 1 is. It's cliched, but I can't help it. And that is In Rock, because of tracks like Speed King, Bloodsucker, Child in Time, Flight of the Rat, Into the Fire, Living Wreck, Hard Lovin' Man, and Black Knight, original single version. You have some bonus tracks on here. Piano version of Speed King, a Roger Glover remix of a song called Cry Free, Jam Stew, Flight of the Rat, a Roger Glover remix, Speed King, Roger Glover remix, and then Black Knight, unedited Roger Glover remix. And in between these bonus tracks, you have studio chats. And some history behind this album, from what I've heard and seen on, say, YouTube and other articles and whatnot, is the change in lead singer was made by Ritchie Blackmore. So he fires Rod Evans because he wanted to compete with Led Zeppelin, and he wanted Robert Plant, but he was already taken by Jimmy Page and crew. And so thank goodness he found Ian Gillan. So a little history of this album. This is their magnum opus. So if you count Concerto for Group and Orchestra, this would be their 5th album. You have the first 3 Vanilla Fudge style albums, then Concerto, then this. Anyway, so In Rock, my favorite Deep Purple album of all time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a blessed day. And don't forget to click the like and notification. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe button to help this young channel grow. And go ahead and click the notification button so that you'll be apprised of all upcoming videos in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Take care now. Bye.